guys, welcome back to another review. Back with the A24 series. Today I am reviewing Midsommar, starring Florence Pugh, Jack Rayner, Wilhelm Blomgren, William Jackson Harper, and Will Poulter, and was directed by Ari Aster, guy who did Hereditary. And this film is about a couple travels to Scandinavia to visit a rural hometown's fabled Swedish Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. All right, let's talk about positives. One, performances, all good. None of them stand out as much as Hereditary, though, but still, they're all pretty good. They're all very good. Mainly Florence Pugh, she's really good in this movie. Jack Rayner is also really good. Everyone, all around, good. Good performances all around. The cinematography in this movie, also, in my opinion, is actually better than Hereditary's. This movie looks downright beautiful. Like, it's a very good looking movie. The lighting is phenomenal, and cinematography and directing is just as good as ever. And the editing in this one is also very similar to Hereditary, but I also love it. I also like how there was a lot of how creepy this movie could get sometimes. There's a lot of very eerie stuff, especially the first image of the movie is very eerie. And there's the whole build up itself is done very well. There's a lot of good creepy scenes that are built up very well. One scene involving a cliff, which literally my mouth dropped. I did not expect that. It was so disturbing. That's really all I could say about this movie. It's disturbing. It's arguably a lot more disturbing than Hereditary, but I wouldn't say it's as scary as Hereditary. Or, in my opinion, not as good as Hereditary. I don't think this movie is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece or anything, but it is definitely... It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's not horrible. But it also isn't amazing. I have issues with it. Mainly with its narrative. The movie doesn't give you any answers, like, at all. Like, there are barely any answers in this movie, and that's a good thing for some people. But also, like, if you actually are looking for the answers, you gotta it's like hard. Like, it's really hard to get any answers out of this movie, and some people might like that. I like that in some movies. Maybe I like that in some movies. I liked Enemy. That movie had very little answers. I actually might say that movie is more subtle than this, but this one's really hard to understand at times. Some parts I'm just scratching my head in confusion thinking they're going to answer it, but nope, they don't. Or they do, I just maybe missed it. I had to watch an explained video to understand some of the stuff that happened in this movie. Maybe I'm just small-minded, or maybe I'm just stupid, I don't know. But, yeah, if you're not used to that kind of style of movies, you're probably going to have a hard time with this one. Also, this one's longer than Hereditary by like 10 minutes, or maybe even longer than that. It's like 2 hours and 27 minutes long. It is a very long movie, and you feel it. Alright, but I'm not talking about my negatives, I'm talking about my positives. There are a lot of good scenes in the movie. My favorite scene is the cliff scene. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That scene was completely, oh my gosh. And then there was this dancing scene. That scene was really well done, really well directed and shot. It's probably the most popular scene in the movie. And then there is the crying scene, which is, in my opinion, is eerie as shoot. That scene was just eerie. I don't understand why. It creeped me out, okay? The opening scene is also very like, ugh. And then if you look in the background in certain shots, you can see a lot of disturbing things. Like there's one where I'm not going to spoil it, but they're carrying the members are carrying someone away. In the background, in the trees, you see something. Once you see it, it's terrifying. Okay. Oh wow. All right. But yeah, like I said, this is not as scary as Hereditary, but it is definitely more disturbing. Could you? Why are you in here? Sorry.
That's
Someone came in. Okay, they're gone now. I'm gonna continue. Okay, so positives. Positive. Any more positives? I think I should mention this guy Wilhelm Blomgren or whatever. I can't pronounce his first name or last name, but I think I should reference him. He's actually really good in the movie. I no, not a lot of people talk about his performance, so I figured I will. He's really good in the movie. Every scene he's in, he's really good. He definitely steals a lot of scenes that he's in. He's definitely creepy, but in a very subtle way. Like if you were to watch this guy, you're like, this seems like a really nice guy, but he's surprisingly eerie. Like in a night, like he's over, like so nice to the point that it's eerie. He pulled it off really well.
What are you doing?
I'm filming a review.
Oh, what are you reviewing?
Midsommar.
Nice. Open a window. It smells bad.
Okay. The window is open. Jeez. Brother keeps walking in. This is why I like doing this when he's at work. But I'm not going to have time, so I got to get started. All right. Let's talk about negatives. Like I said, this movie is long. It is very long. Oh, jeez. This movie is long. I'm not a huge fan of overlong horror films. I don't like any horror movie that goes over 2.5 hours. In my opinion, 2 hours is pushing it, but it just depends if I'm invested in the movie. And some scenes of this movie had me invested. Other times I was kind of bored. I'm not gonna lie. This movie is a lot slower paced than Hereditary in a bad way. Hereditary is already a slow burn, but this movie is slower than Hereditary. And it is just, at times it got tedious, especially the first half. But after the whole cult stuff starts happening, it gets better. It picks up a lot. But the first half was kind of tough to get through because there's a lot of build up, a lot of character build up. There's a lot of stuff that you just have to get through, and oh gosh, it was hard to get through for me. But at least I had some nice cinematography to look at, so in very energetic direction, so that's good. Other than that, the movie's first half is just very slow burn. So if you're not a fan of slow burn movies, this movie is definitely not going to win you over. Also, I don't like the ending. I'm not a huge fan of this movie's ending. I don't know why. I just found it very mean. I understand why it's there and what the ending means, but I just found it very just dirty. I don't know why. It just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Because I don't want to go into it because of spoilers, but let's just say that it involves a burning building. And it felt kind of mean. I don't know why. Just some parts of this movie just felt so screwed up that, seriously, this is like one of the nastiest cults I've ever seen in a movie, and I really do enjoy cult movies. Have any of you seen Netflix's The Ritual? That's a creepy cult movie. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. It's actually not too bad. Very atmospheric until the ending where it gets very weird. But other than that, it was a very suspenseful movie. But we're not talking about The Ritual. We're talking about Midsommar. And yeah, that's how I pronounce it, as Midsommar. I don't know how else it's pronounced, or Midsummer, Midsommar. I pronounce it Midsommar. Because that's how it's spelled. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ending. I found it cruel, and I like cruel endings, but this one just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. If I was allowed to talk about the ending, I would, but since this is a spoiler free review and I don't really have enough material to do a spoiler review, that's all I could do. Alright, what else? Am I done? Do I have anything else to talk? I want to talk about? No, not really. Alright, so let's conclude this. In conclusion, Midsommar is a very atmospheric movie. It doesn't really get interesting until the last half, unfortunately, when the cult stuff starts kicking in. That's when the movie got a lot more investing. And so it's a beautiful looking movie. It's well acted, it's well directed, but unfortunately, it is not as intense, scary, or investing as I wanted it to. I'm going to give her Midsommar a B plus, and is pretty good, but it's still a solid movie. I never said I hated it. I just said it was not as good as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be amazing, but it was just good. I really don't want to compare this one to Hereditary that much, though. But and I kind of did. I'm sorry about that, but I can't help it, because this was kind of a disappointment, but it was still good. It was a good disappointment. It's just not as scary as I wanted it to be. All right, so if you've seen Midsommar, what did you think about it? If you like this review, give it a like. I will see you guys next time.